Hey everyone. Wanted to do an update. I hadn't done one in a while, and I thought today I would go over flashbacks. That's something that we experience. A lot of people with PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome, also child sexual abuse. They have a lot of flashbacks. If you repress the memories, or even if you haven't, I think you get the flashbacks to where you go back to that exact moment of when things are happening. It's pretty scary because you are basically going back in time. Your subconscious brain is ready to get this stuff out, but your conscious brain is still trying to protect you from it. So there's this little battle going on in your head trying to get this stuff out. My abuse was when I was about 4 or 5, and at the age of 46, all of a sudden these things started coming out little by little. Images, things would just kind of appear, or you would kind of, and slowly they've gotten worse. They bring me back. I smell the rooms and all that stuff. I don't hear sound though with mine. I've always just there's no sound. A lot of darkness, and then I'll see visuals. But I started journaling, and I wanted to kind of give you an idea of what a flashback's like, what we go through with a flashback. They happen just whenever they happen. There's triggers that can bring them on, but I've yet to figure out what my triggers are that make mine go. So I want to read one of my evenings that I wrote in the journal from the other day. But this will give you an idea of what it's like to live through this and to experience a flashback. So I'll just start with the journal. This was for May 1st. I have finally started writing about this. The meds and the anxiety make my writing bad, but at least it's readable. Today had its ups and downs. At times I feel consumed by the past and struggle to separate the past from the present. My flashbacks have started back up frequently, which is very disturbing. I can't seem to keep them inside as I once had done so well. I'm so confused by the medication and often wonder if it's helping, but so desperately do not want to risk the darkness that I was in before I started taking them. I'm full of sadness today, and the evening reveals why. I experienced my worst flashback and blackout to date. All of these horrific repeats of a dreadful time in my life have subjected me to limited visuals and a silence that has somewhat protected me. This day would be much different. This is so hard to write about, but I have to. The day was a positive, as I made a visit to work and got to see some of my friends that I work with, and that felt good. That was good, positive. I felt the day was good. When I arrived back home, the evening seemed to turn. I remained very shaky, jaws clenched tightly all the time from the effects. It's very painful. It's constant. It causes headaches now. The shakiness has reached my legs, and at times my knees will buckle. The dizziness is overwhelming sometimes, almost blackening out. The evenings seem to elevate to a higher level of anxiety. The blackouts seem to control their appearance, and I cannot stop them. They would unleash a fury that I have yet to encounter. The heart starts to pound to a level that you can feel it in your arms and almost in your ears. The room starts to darken, and I must put my hands over my eyes, trying to protect me from something that can penetrate past my weak hands. Slowly the horror is starting to set in. I'm once again in the darkness. As usual, there is a silence, yet I can smell the stale stench of body odor, old wood, paneling, I think. This room is old. I feel the presence of my attackers. The same feeling returns, scared, shaking in terror. But I know what I must do. My only safety, even though temporary, is in my corner. Not sure if I was forced to stay there at first, but time after time has become my safety, my escape from reality. I often see the eyes of another child it's my same size. He too in a corner, silent as I. We are not to speak words, but yet the communication through our eyes speaks volumes. I can only see his eyes, but that is enough. They reveal a pain that I know very well. Much fear we shared, trying to comfort each other through only bright, frightened eyes, willing to sacrifice ourselves for the other, but that doesn't matter, as we both are always forced onto the mattress, separately, as if the rape is not bad enough, but the added pain of witnessing it. I never see faces. I fear faces. Maybe that would be too real. Maybe that would justify the existence. I feel I need to see the faces, but that is what I fear the most. The room remains dark, still in my eyes, and for the first time something is happening. A terror I have yet experienced in my blackouts. The room is familiar, with a smell, odor, presence as usual. I feel alone against my attacker, safe in my corner, pulled tight, my knees against my chest, back against the corner, as often. Started only to quickly turn into the corner to block my view. I did not want to see them walking towards me or see the others harmed. I could not feel or see the eyes that I desperately needed to comfort me. Am I alone to face this fear? Was fate to protect him this day? These questions would be answered in a way I wish would not be revealed. The silence that once had protected me during these horrific episodes would finally be shattered this night. Slowly I feel the presence of the other child, but still I can't see the eyes. It starts low at first, muffled. Even though I'm barely hearing it, I realize that sound. Closer and more volume, the pain that I have felt is given a sound. The first I've heard since I was 4 or 5. If pain ever had a sound, it was this. My friend with the innocent eyes that had comforted me many times, was screaming in pain. Screams and then silence, but mostly screams. Muffled by the large hands that would cover our mouths, or being face down into the mattress, gasping for air through the stagnant mattress, and screams of pain, not knowing if this would be the last time you see the light. The agonizing cry of pain is too much. My ears are covered with my small hands to block the sound. I could still hear it. I cannot help him. I must protect me, even if it's just for a short time. His pain makes it past my hands, entering my ears. I press harder and start humming a song to myself to block out the cries of pain and to drown out my own deafening heartbeat that I can feel pulsing through every inch of my body. Even though my eyes are closed, turning towards my corner, ears covered and humming, there is no peace, none at all. I need the eyes to comfort me, but he's not there. His presence only known through his cries. I realize that I'm rocking into my knees, back and forth, faster and faster I go. The darkness starts to get darker. The cries start to seem further away. I keep rocking and rocking, and finally silence. As I slowly open my eyes, I realize that I'm in my home, safe on my couch, covered in sweat and tears. the silence is short. And as the cries are replayed in my head, I feel pain all over my body. Vomit. Vomit is all I can do. Hovering over the toilet, I weep. I weep for my unknown friend. I hear the worst sound over and over in my head. The pain, hard, tortured innocence of a child unleashed by beasts of hell, and they will not let up. I have never heard such a fear and a cry. I can only think of the pain that he endures, only to be reminded of it when he hears my cries. There is no more protection from the silence. This is real. This is too real. That's basically a flashback. And you just relive those over and over, and they just control themselves, and they do come whenever they want to come. But I want to educate, and I want to make sure that everybody can that knows what these are. I had never heard of them before, and didn't know this was that I'd ever would be diagnosed with post-traumatic stress syndrome, and then have this part of it. So I promise the next video will be a happier one. But I do want to document this stuff so that and educate people so that they know. Please, anybody that you know that's been through abuse, get them to get help. Watch over your children so that this stuff doesn't happen. I'm getting help. I've got an appointment with my psychiatrist next week, and I'm so excited because we can get these medications adjusted, so I hopefully won't have all this shaking and stuff like I'm doing. So I'm doing better, much better. Get a little emotional when I read these things and kind of relive them, but I just wanted to share this with you. I'm doing better overall. Please spread the word about child sexual abuse, and let's help these people. Let's help me. But let's just don't forget the silent voices, okay? Thank you.